Hey everybody, this is Tao at The Forge, and it's a week before Christmas, so I thought I'd do my second annual Tao's Holiday Gift Guide for 2017. So, if you're looking for a gift for a Magic the Gathering player, especially for a new player, it might be kind of difficult to find something. So, here are some ideas of things that actually could be kind of cool for a new or newish type of player, but I guess it could go for anyone as well. So the first thing I had in mind is I'm going to go in different price ranges. So we'll take a look. The first thing I had in mind was for $10. You can get some nice tokens at Cardamajigs. So at Cardamajigs, they have a ton of custom tokens that are actually pretty cool. And you can tell there's some that are really cartoony, some that are more serious looking, but they're all pretty sweet. I mean, like, these are definitely going to get attention. They even have ones that are like hologram ones where if you move them, they animate. And those are actually pretty good too. And for $10, you can actually pick up, a decent amount of them. So anyways, check out cardamajigs.com. I am not sponsored by any of the products or any of the things that I'm portraying here or I'm showing here. But if you do want to sponsor me, I would definitely think about it. So anyways, cardamajigs.com, that's something I would consider. All right. In the $25 range, I've said this before, as I'm a huge fan of the Merfolk versus Goblins. I think that it's a good buy. So, it's a good entry point into Modern for people who are going into Merfolk versus, who are going into Modern or who are new to the game. So the idea behind this is that you can get a Merfolk versus Goblins dual deck, and it gets you the basic shell of Merfolk and of Goblins, and it gives you something to work with. Now you can play with a friend, and it also gives you like some upgradability. Like I've mentioned this before, like those intro decks or new Planeswalker decks, I hate those a lot. It's just my own personal thing, but I find that they're fine if you're playing against other people who are also playing the same thing, but they're not really upgradable. Like you pretty much have to swap out every single card in them to be upgradable, and the people who I've talked to in general are not very satisfied with getting those. This, on the other hand, is something that you could upgrade. It gives you, something long term to kind of look forward to. And, upgrading to full on modern Merfolk or full modern Goblins is not really, unachievable. So, it's not like it's $1,000 deck. So like with a little bit of like extra money, you could easily start upgrading these. So anyways, that's my pick for $25. Now for also $25, you could also get a custom playmat from inkedgaming.com, who I'm also not sponsored by. So anyways, they have some really cool ones. Like some are darker, some are more comical, some are comic-y. I love this one, Abzan. When in doubt, junk them out. They have one, another one says like 8 rack, and it says like look ma, no hands. That's actually pretty funny, so there's actually some really sweet ones here. And, a lot of new players don't get a playmat because they just want to spend their money on cards. And I can totally get that, because you want to get value out of cards. But, getting a nice custom playmat is actually really nice. And, I guess it's the kind of thing that you don't really notice until you start using it. So custom playmat, $25 range. Now moving into the $50 range, what I'd suggest is more Merfolk versus Goblins, right? And I don't mean like just infinitely more, but what I'd suggest is getting 2 of these. And I actually suggested this to some people I knew, and what they did is they each took one. So one person took both Merfolk decks, the other person took both Goblins decks and combined them. Now, the reason why you do this is because, like, for instance, if you look at the Warrant Instigator on the front, there's only one Warrant Instigator in the pack, and the same thing with a lot of the other Goblins that are actually pretty good. I think there's only 2 Goblin Grenades or something like that. And so if you combine them, then you can actually get more consistency. You can take out some of the more, meh Goblins and meh Merfolk. I guess they would be called meh folk. But anyways, you can take some of them out, and then you can start building a more consistent deck. And this way, 2 people can actually get a good deck going, and they actually should be pretty happy with it. For a marginal amount of more money, the person who ended up with the Merfolk deck could get some Lords of Atlantis and fill out the Master of Waves. There's a promo coming out, I think, where Silvergill Adept is coming out, or Mero Regiray, one of them. It's a custom one coming out in January for one of the Magic events, so they could go to that and start upgrading that. On the Warren Instigator side, a few Lightning Bolts, a few Goblin Pile Drivers might be nice. One thing that is a really good include for this, and maybe I should talk about this in another video, but is Burn at the Stake. Burn at the Stake can just finish a game out of nowhere if because this deck can generate so many tokens. Anyways, that's actually a pretty good card. I think it's a good buy. Now, lastly, we're moving to the $100 range, and what I'd say is get a good thing that could be a lot of fun is the Unstable booster box, right? So if you're looking at spending over $100, this wouldn't necessarily be for a new player, but it could be still. It's a lot of fun. It's more casual. The cards are going to be relatively valueless except for the lands. Now here's the thing: the lands are actually pretty cool. They're beautiful lands, and I don't think anybody would ever regret having them. Of course they're full art, borderless. Look at the lands; they're just so sweet. So I mean, it's a good pickup. If you don't want to get the booster box, what you could do is just get the lands, right? So the lands right now are going for anywhere from $2.50 to about $4 each. So if you wanted to get someone a playset of islands or a playset of planes, or if they have a deck already, getting them like a full deck's worth of cards, like of whatever cards they need for their deck, would be actually pretty sweet. And I think that that would definitely be appreciated by most people. The good thing about these lands too is that they would often they're often going to increase in value. I think these cards will increase in value over time, despite the rest of the cards in the set being essentially worthless. So it's a good pickup, and I don't think anybody will feel bad about it. So anyways, those are my ideas for Christmas gifts for Magic the Gathering players for this year. If you have any suggestions, throw them into the comments underneath. Let me know what you think. If you think these are terrible ideas, let me know too. I'd just like to see what you guys think about it. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.